I love the movies, and actually over the years, it's become much more. I don't want to say easier, but the first movie was actually really tough because it was my first animated film. We didn't know what the movie was. We were sort of finding it. It was a 2.5-year process of doing the voices and not having ever seen it and knowing what that was going to be. So when we finally saw the movie and going to the second one and the third one, it really has gotten to be much more connected to, I guess, a process because we know what it's going to be and understand the character more, and I understand the character more, and everybody's gotten, I guess, used to how to do it, and I think it allows for a more creative experience. It's been really fun. So the last one was actually the most fun. We also had Noah Baumbach, write an amazing script with Eric, and so that really helped too. I think, so the process has become more and more fun, really.
Just as an actor, it gives you an opportunity to work a different muscle. You know, all you have is your voice, which was quite a unique experience for me, and I have to agree with Ben. It took a minute to get used to the process, but I feel like we all pretty much have it now.
You have it now too, David, right?
Yeah, it feels like putting on your favorite comfortable jacket, that, you break it out of the closet every now and then, you're like, oh my God, this feels great. And it's really fun being in that recording studio and just playing, it's like a childlike process of using your imagination, and then it's amazing to see the end result when they cut all of our stuff together and it's painted and finished, and the sound and the music. I'm stunned by it. So
first of all, when you're doing something that's established, all the trust has been realized because you know that the first two are spectacular, so you just kind of feel very relaxed in doing it. And also animation I kind of adore because there's no rush. You can try everything. You can improvise, you can try this voice, that voice, and time is spent because there's not this frantic urgency of in front of the camera. So I find it's wildly creative.
Well, I think with the circus scene that we did, it was pure imagination, but we started off saying, well, we need to do something to beat Cirque du Soleil, which was a huge bar that we set for ourselves. But the process that we used was quite interesting because we got the art team together and we just started imagining how we would take the typical circus acts and bring them to another level with our characters. So for instance, instead of just doing a tightrope, let's have Gloria and Melman dance on 5 tightropes, and then the art department would visualize that for us. And so through that process of going back and forth, inventing the act and getting artwork that reflected it, we kind of came up and started cutting with the music our circus.
There's something, I guess, in the story about how we're always there for each other, and that to me is kind of what the thing that Alex gets, is that his friends are there for him, he's there for his friends.
Actually, we've been very good friends, spanning decades. We've all been involved with these movies. It's rare that a team gets to follow through with a franchise or 3 movies, so we feel really grateful and to work together as friends. And we're able to divide and work more intimately with the 600 artists who make these films.
I like that a lot of the children's movies have jokes for adults. So, I mean, I've been at movies with my kids, and my kids will get fidgety. And like, oh, we want to go. And I'm like, we're not going until I find out what happens to this bear. So, it's like, we are watching this movie. So I got no complaints with children's movies.
Madagascar in particular gives a child an opportunity to exercise imagination. And I feel as though when you open a child's mind in that way, there are lots of information or things that a child can absorb unconsciously. And that's one of my favorite aspects of animation, of how sophisticated the relationships are and can be. To also kind of broaden emotional intelligence in children, which I think is most important.
Challenge of trying to express yourself completely with just your voice and not use your face or your body, which I've never done that. But the wonderful thing that I discovered from it is that there's so much freedom in that because, of course, in animation, you can play any character.
We want to leverage off of these guys, who are, not only great actors, writers, comedians, filmmakers. And a big part of our process is letting these guys do what they do and helping us to find these characters and to find these scenes and to find our story.